On Facebook.
Oh, you're Ken Doc. How many of you blogged with Ken Doc and never seen?
Woo!
Well, my question is almost what the last speaker is going to say, and I just want to know, are there any legal loopholes that's stopping the physical evidence from getting, or from being heard in a courtroom? Like, why is there no investigation? Why don't we have an investigation? In the courtroom.
Okay, well, one reason is that all of the 9/11 court cases are funneled through one judge who's been set up to dismiss them, most of them, Judge Hellerstein. What? Hellerstein is Bush's cousin? I didn't know that. Oh, that was a different case. The April Gallup case. Thanks for trying. He's just notorious for settling all of these out of court, so the evidence does not get into court, and for dismissing the other ones. Some in this case, Bush's cousin, John Walker, was a judge in an appellate court which slapped a $10,000 fine on William Veal, who was representing April Gallup, who crawled out of the hole said to have been caused by the plane, which is said to have hit the Pentagon. So we certainly have huge problems with corruption in the judicial system, and it is very difficult. That is one reason. Do you have some other ideas about that?
I've been pushing for a new investigation now since 2005 when I started researching this, and I just can't see the government investigating themselves on this issue.
Well, that's a good question right there. Our petition is to Congress demanding a real investigation. We don't imagine, we did in the beginning, I was pretty naive when I started this. I thought, everybody's just going to look at this rationally based evidence and agree with me, and we're going to have an investigation within a year. This whole thing's going to, and little did I realize that it's a very different reality because we're dealing with people's world views, which we're asking to change them, because the implications of these evidence being pointing to some sort of an inside operation, very high, very wide. It's scary to imagine that level of control and manipulation, not just over the media, government officials, but over us, our family members, our friends. They become the most effective tool of those who are the perpetrators and who seek to keep this covered up. And so it's scary to imagine what percentage, 60, 70, 80% of people are completely unwilling and will to look at the evidence first, to listen to you, and then on top of that to condemn you and cause isolation as a result. People lose friends. I've lost a wife. It's very, very, very difficult. That was the biggest wake-up call for me. I found myself isolated. I got a lot of friends though, right? I mean, you guys are my friends. How many of you guys are friends? Yeah. What you have to do is get together now, right? Mike Bondi and Karen Brothers are going to come up here and talk to you about what they're doing in a minute with Toronto, what kinds of activities they have, how you can join them. You're going to be on their mailing list, right? There's things we can all do together to increase not just our sense of not being alone, but our effectiveness in the world, doing something about the most important issue that we've ever faced. To me, more important than global warming. I'll just name a few, right? I'm not expressing an opinion on these chemtrails. Big issues out there, fluoride, vaccines, all extremely important issues, not denying them. But 9/11 truth is the domino that will start the awareness of all the others following. That's what happened to me. It leads somehow, I don't quite understand how it works, the rabbit hole of all these others who start becoming aware of. Somehow you need something massive. And the social engineering we've kind of been talking here about, to realize how big the control grid inside our own minds is. What caused that? What are the forces that contribute to it? Okay, so then you get into some of these other issues. Some people cite fluoride in the water as an extremely important tool in the tool belt of those who would manipulate us and keep us from thinking critically. I don't know about that, but there's been some research in those areas. So again, 9/11 is the big one. Building 7 is the easy way into the big issue of 9/11. That's why we start with it. But I still didn't answer your question. I forgot what it was.
Do you know of any legal loopholes as why the physical evidence hasn't been heard in the court of law? Are there any loopholes on how we can get it to the courts so that they can hear your presentation of the physical evidence?
Anybody have a good answer for that?
Bring back habeas corpus.
Yeah, belt it out. What?
Wrongful death.
Wrongful death?
No, you don't present it to the court. You are the court. We are the court.
Okay.
The people are the court.
Hold on, one at a time. Hold on back there. People are murdered. What?
Wrongful death. There's a class action for wrongful death against the U.S. government, whether they think it's an economic trivia. That'd be a wrongful death. Class action.
Okay, class action, wrongful death. Okay, what did you say in the back? Real loud.
We are the people. We are the court. It is in our constitution from Magna Carta that we have the right to convene and be our own court.
Time to start a new court.
We don't ask permission. We don't ask the criminals permission to judge themselves, to try themselves. This is why we're getting blocked. The second that we turn it around and go, we are firing you and we are rehiring ourselves. We pay the police. We pay the firemen.
And I believe your legal system provides for that, and ours does as well. But it is quite an effort to do a citizens grand jury in the U.S., and we're actually looking at that.